Hi everyone, it's Adrian Leah. This is going to be a crafting haul video. I got a couple of things mainly for selling, and I'll show progress on my patchwork skirt, and I have a knitting project that I'm thinking about starting because it's a smaller one and it's easier to put in my bag for when I go to class. I do, I mainly take my sweaters. Um, Lately I've been bringing food, so I also bring was it like an insulated bag that you could buy at the supermarket? And there's a couple of things to carry. I don't want to put my knitting project in that bag because I don't want there to be hair near the food. And um, I don't have room in my backpack for it, so I just carry it on its own in my Patreon bag. I I'll still bring it sometimes, but I have been finishing more of the smaller projects. I don't really count the socks because I don't really knit socks because they don't really interest me in that way. I'm Maybe I'll knit more socks in the future. That could always happen because there are some crafts that I got into that I didn't really think I would get invested in. So I wouldn't be surprised that I do have a couple things, maybe mainly from Dollar Tree, and I wanted to mention that I went to a couple different craft stores and I saw the self-healing cutting mats. Um, I have seen the Olfa one, but I've only seen it in the quilt shop, and that one is really expensive, but they're the larger size, and then some of them are different shapes. Well, there are different ones in that collection. Um, the one I'm referring to is the Fiskars one, and I got mine for around $12, and I'm seeing that it is on the cheaper side. It's the 12 by 18 because I have seen it in other stores like Hobby Lobby and Michael's, and it's for like $20. Some places online have it discounted to around $11 too. So I'm curious about that, but I'm happy that I ended up getting it and I didn't spend as much because even when I saw the price, I was like, I would, I could see this being more expensive in general. So, um, I have been using it. I'm trying to just use one side. But I did go to the Bulgarian market and I got the Denki. Let me make sure. Because I tried a recipe on it and it just didn't, yep, taste like the one that I would get at the store. This is one of the brands that they have. And I really like this one. I've seen them at like two Eastern European markets, and this is the one that I like the most. And it's like softer, and it has more of like a delicate taste to it. I liked the ones that I made, but maybe they're the homemade version of it, and I know this version. So I'm not too sure. I think I could try it again, but I also feel like maybe one of the ingredients was a different form of it. I think the honey, because I feel like I was looking at it at the time and it was a different form of honey that I didn't have. So I used regular honey and that could have altered the recipe. And when you look at recipes in general, I know is there's like the mechanisms of the different ingredients, um, and some being more for not so much purposeful. Well, they are purposeful, but not in a. It's purposeful in a different way, I suppose. So I will maybe look at the different recipes. I saw some on YouTube, but they didn't have the translation on the video. And if maybe they have the ingredients in the description, but that could be something too because I do like eating the cookies. I did get a vegan bar, and I like how a lot of the ingredients, like, well, a lot of the food, if it's not necessary to have the dairy in it, a lot of times it's omitted. So I really like their wafer bars. I get the blueberry one because I love blueberries. And I love that it has like a natural kind of, I don't know if it's like a nutty flavor to it, but it kind of surprised me that it tasted more complex than other wafers that I've had. And I do like wafers in general. Like I've had other vegan wafers, but I've never had a blueberry one. The ones that we usually carry are chocolate, strawberry, and vanilla. For the vegan ones, I don't know about the other brands or what other places might carry for those things. But I do have a bag here, sorry. Maybe I'll take some stuff out. I did get new toothpaste, which is a little shameful because I went to Costco a couple weeks ago with my parents and I picked up toothpaste, and then when you go to Costco you get a large amount of or large quantity of something, and they had the Sensodyne enamel, and it wasn't the exact one that I got. I honestly don't remember the exact one that I got, but the toothpaste, I feel it isn't as effective on me, and I I feel like one of the main things, because the active ingredients are pretty consistent throughout the different products that they carry. So with the inactive ingredients, I would say it would affect the way that it's one of the things is that it's more foamier or lighter. It's like thinner than the one that I had before. The other toothpaste was more pasty, so the Sensodyne that I got at Costco is the Sensodyne Pronamel toothpaste for sensitive teeth. I could say teeth because it's easy, because sometimes with my th, it doesn't come out, um, but it's for teeth and cavity prevention. The Alpine Breeze Gentle Advanced Whitening Plus. The main reason like I go for the Sensodyne is because it's almost like medicinal in a way. At first it throws you off a little bit, but at least for the taste, this actually tastes less medicinal than the last one that I got. But I feel like the last time I got the toothpaste, it was kind of a little bit of a treat. It's more expensive than a lot of toothpaste that you buy. So I didn't know the exact one that I got, but I got the Pro, well, it's the Sensodyne Pro Enamel toothpaste for sensitive teeth and cavity prevention, 3 times stronger enamel protection. This is the clinical enamel strength deep clean, and it is a couple of dollars more than the other products that they carry, but I figured that I think I got something like that last time. I'll see how it is when I use it. And since I have a lot of the other toothpaste left, um, I could see what I'll do with it. I could alternate sometimes, but mainly use the clinical formula if that works well. So, um, when it was more pasty, it just stayed on my teeth more, which was nice. And my teeth did feel a lot better. So I'll see how that one works. Maybe I have the picture of my original one on my phone because that's why I have so many things on my phone. Like I just take pictures of different moments. Like me, oh, it's my first time getting this toothpaste. Let me take a picture of this. And I tend to do that. But I went to the dollar store yesterday and the day before yesterday, because yesterday I went to pick up an extra product that I really wanted to get another one of, and it was a surprise to me, but I had to pick up my godbrother from the airport. So since I was out, I was like, okay, um, I'll just do the things that I need to do. And I went to Dollar Tree, and I was really happy with the one that I went to this time because I don't mind going to different Dollar Trees, but sometimes they carry more of a product than other areas. So there are certain stores that are more crafty based than other stores. This store was the most sewing crafty based one that I've seen, and I was super excited. Um, so the thing that I got two of, well, I got that's why I went there again, is the Crafter Square Roller Cutter. So this is a rotary cutter, great for cutting paper, fabric, vinyl, and more. So if you don't know what the US price, it used to be the dollar store literally, but it went up to $1.25, unfortunately. But but I understand. So I do have a rotary cutter that I really enjoy using. I got it at the quilt shop, I figured that I would get another one of this one specifically because I feel like I could travel with it. Like I could put it in a check-in and maybe put the self-healing mat because it takes little to no space. I would carry on my sewing machine because I would want to make sure that it stays intact, but maybe disassemble some of the sharper, well, the sharper part of it. And this surprised me because it cuts to a point where it almost seems hazardous. And I was surprised how much it cut. With the one that I got from the quilt shop, it glides and it has a nice cut. This one is just like, um, this is, I'm not sure if I want to use this on my self-healing mat, and I might just use it on one side, but I also have other mats that maybe I could use it for, or use it with. And even those, this one cut really deeply into one of my older ones that I got from Dollar Tree. Oh, and my other rotary cutter didn't really do too much damage on it, but this one made a really deep cut, and I'm not sure if I should like have a lighter hand with this one. So it has like a safety function here that you can take off, and they say to like put it in a safe place and then put it back on when you want it on there. So this one is a 28 millimeter one, and I I don't know, I might try my Westcott one again, the one that I just could not get it to cut fabric. It did cut me the other day, but I guess I wasn't being careful with it because at this point, I use it to cut the thread from my, not my featherweight, my other Singer sewing machine. I just keep it in that drawer, and I accidentally cut myself when I was making the bag. So I wrapped my finger because it was like, it kept bleeding. And so, since I was working on something, I didn't want it to get stained or anything. So, this one, I guess it might be nice that it has such a um, wider edge here because my other ones don't have that. And at first, I thought that was kind of awkward. But with how sharp it is, um, I'm not that upset about it, or I'm not upset about it. And if anything, maybe I could just like, I haven't tried to change out any rotary blades, but maybe I could just like replace the blades over time. But a lot of times you hear that you don't really replace the rotary blades often. So I'm happy about it. I still think the most rounded is the one that I got from the quilt shop. This one, it's like the danger zone type of rotary cutter, but I'm happy that it cuts. So that one I could just keep in the packaging. And I feel like it might, I don't know if it's a new product. Like I said, this was the most um, sewing based one that I've been to. Because a lot of them, if they do have more crafts, they usually focus on the yarn, and they do have a lot of yarn there. They don't really have cotton yarn because they would carry either acrylic or cotton. Maybe they have other ones too. I think they might have other ones, but those are the well, mainly acrylic. And because I feel like I overheat in acrylic yarn, I don't usually use it unless it's like a blend with a natural fiber. But I did get other things. I got a couple of things from that trip, and I got some fabrics. So these are fat quarters for them. I believe make a yard. Let me make sure. So I got two of these. I feel like at first I was like, oh, I'll just make one color. And then my brain was like, no, I don't want to do that. So I just love the quilt stars. I think I'm gonna, because I've seen quilt stars using plaid, and I saw another plaid one there, or I'm not sure if plaid and tartan are synonymous, but I would have to check on that too. But I really love the softer tartan. I love, well, I love all, sorry, I'm just like interchanging it at this point. I love all, well, I love plaid in general. It's like one of my favorite prints or patterns. So four of them would be a yard of fabric. So I feel like this is plenty because it's going to be a blend of something. And I'm really excited about it because I do love plaid. I haven't sewn, no, well, I have hand sewn with it in the past. Because I remember I made a tarot bag with plaid. It was like an orange bag. So that bag I don't have anymore. I know for sure that I don't have it. It was a story, but it got lost during hurricane season. So, but I am still here doing this. So I got this fabric too. There were other fabrics, but I tried to not get too much. And I do like adding to the pattern stash, and it's been low because I used most of my fabric on the patchwork skirt. So I'm gradually growing it. I do want to get more of like the floral ones, but since I'm doing a couple of projects here and there, and I feel like doing a super like scrappy projects at some point, aside from the patchwork one, not really that scrappy, but it could be scrappy for somebody that has more fabric than I do. I I want to make a pouch, and I saw one that I was like, I definitely want to make it. And that goes with one of the items that I got at the quilt shop. But still at the dollar store, I got, well, I feel like the brand is Crafter's Square because it's on all the crafting products. So these are cotton. So I was really happy because I wanted to try this. It's the fusible interfacing, and this will give some structure to your project. There's directions on the back, so, and I'll watch YouTube for it too, or see other sources on how to use it, because I do want it, I wanted to try it, but since it was at the Dollar Tree, I felt like it was a good opportunity to. So that those are the things that I get from the dollar store. And Then I went to the quilt shop for a specific item. I didn't get fabric. So I got the bias tape maker. This is for the 1 inch. It was between the 1 inch and the half inch. I was also checking the Michael's store, and um, they had one. I feel like it was a different name, but you could, you might be able to use it. You might not. I'd had to double check on it, but it came up when I was seeing what stores had it, and that was like $20. This was 7.75, so I didn't want to spend too much on it, and so I got the 1 inch. There was also the 2 inch one too, but I saw that half an inch and 1 inch are the most used ones. So that'll be for creating borders for your like if you have like a quilt block or bordering other things. So there's the pouch that I wanted to do is like a patchwork boxy bag, and I want to do like um it's gonna be hard to see, but it started off as a placemat because she gets a lot of, well, she sews seams. She gets a lot of stuff from Dollar Tree for like to help people sew on a budget. And she had these, she used, sorry, like a heating, not a heating pad, like for the kitchen, like something to, well, I guess maybe the name isn't coming to me, but that has more of a structure to it, and I was trying to find that too, but they didn't have that, so I was thinking, well, maybe I could figure it out in some other way. But I did find like a, you know those containers that you put, well, that like a bed sheet would come in, like when you purchase it, like the plastic, I don't know if it's plastic, but it's a clear bag a lot of the time. I saw it looked like they were gonna throw it out, or it was just in the garage. So I took it, and I'm gonna take the zipper from it. And since it's gonna be a long zipper, I'm thinking about what I could use for it. I don't know if I would use it for a backpack, but I have seen the measurement for like 22 inches for the backpack because it's tends to be a longer one, or it depends on what you're doing, I guess. But I guess in general too, it will probably be long. But the patchwork is like this, and you're covering, well, she was covering a place, not a place, well, a hot pad, I think that's what you call it, and um, put fabric on each side, and the bias tape is the border for the quilt. And so I got the tool for it so that I could do the border. Because technically you can buy bias tape, but I feel like it would be a little more cost effective because it's not like super expensive to buy. But um, maybe if you just can make it on your own, that would be fine. Or sometimes you might not have a store that carries it around you. but I have seen it in a couple different stores. So I'll use this at some point, but I wanted to get it while I felt like I put it into the list of things to get, and I tried to gradually get things here and there. I did see at Hobby Lobby there was a cheaper ruler, like a lot larger, like see-through ruler. Because I've seen the other ones that were. I'm not looking. I didn't need like the largest one, but they had one on the larger side for like $15, and I feel like that is a nice price for what it is. So I might get it at some point. I don't know when. And now for maybe I'll show the quilt and then the or the patchwork skirt, and then I'll show an idea for a sewing project. So this is kind of like I take time to do other things for a little bit, and then I go back to studying because there's more to study for this section. And then we have externships like in October. So the the coursework is more in terms of like what you have to study because they have like the section where it's specifically the national exam study section. So today I did take a nap in the afternoon. So I was trying to study and I was not really doing that. And then I got an okay amount done. I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna see how much I could get complete before I go to bed. And then I do have, um, I think hopefully it's the interview for tomorrow. And that's for helping with teaching Ukrainians English. And I don't know how that'll go, but I'll see. And um, I'll have to wake up not too much earlier than I normally do. Today I had to wake up earlier. And then um, the day before because I had to wake up and I didn't sleep early because I fall asleep late or early depending on how you look at it. Um, I was still in the mood to sleep. So I haven't been getting that much crafting done because of the studying because next week um, is exam week. So I am putting the exam, well, the quiz questions together, and there's a lot more because of the extra section where you have the exam quiz. So hopefully I well I I'm almost done the assignments for the week. So I think it will be okay. But I have been doing the different rows. So I have two panels that I'm doing, the front and the back. It's an odd number. So I think I'm going to put the smaller one, or like the one that has less squares in the back. I'll see, but I don't want to see seams, but since it's well, I will have the seams, but I don't want it to be in an awkward place in the front. But since it's gathered so much, since it's double the um, measurement, I I feel like it'll be okay. But I have some of them here. So there's this one, and I'm happy how they're turning out. And then this one. And there are these. I have it so the patterns aren't the same patterns aren't touching each other. And this one. So it's going to be like a lot of yellow and reds in this skirt, which is kind of a little random, but um, I'm happy that the colors are going together. And I'm gonna put an inside to it. It was also created, or I was watching the video by She Sews Seams, and um, she has a serger for the to finish the edging. I also have a modern sewing machine where I could use like the zigzag foot or finish the seams in another way. I don't have a lot of seam allowance, so I'm just gonna put an inner layer, and I feel like that should be okay with it. And either that or I could do like a gathered, is it trim? Like at the bottom or edge. But so far I'm gradually learning different things, so I might just stick with putting an inner layer and see how the gathering is for that. And I do have a bed sheet that I have a good amount of that I'll be using for this project for the inside. So the last thing, I was thinking about doing like a scrappy project of a lot of they call it the Ukrainian yarn that I have because they're mainly blue and yellow for the scraps. And I wanted to do the pattern from the Portuguese knitting book. It's one that I've been wanting to do. This is an idea, but the smaller projects have been more consistently finished since I've been here. I'm still working on the sweaters. Um, I have been mainly working on the Olympian one right now because I really want to get past the repeating pattern area. But this is the Sarah Day also leggings. And I think I'm going to go up a needle size for the leggings. I might go up 2 needle sizes. I'll see. Because I don't think I have a US 0 for my needles. And the US ones that I have, my, it's technically, they're circular needles. They're not on the longer side. And I'm using them for both the socks. So, and I do technically have a ChowGoo US 1 needle, I believe. I'd have to double check on that I got a couple months ago, I believe. But the store didn't have the cord to go with it, so I just have um the needles right now because ChowGoo needles are on the more expensive side, and I do have actually many of them. But there are 3, I believe, sizes. I know at least 3 for sure because I do have the complete sets of the, well, what would be like if you were to buy it, of like getting the one in the set. So for the 5-inch tips and the 4-inch tips, the 4-inch tips I got on my own. 4-inch tips are the ones that I prefer. And those come with the small and large cords. And then once you get like, I believe it's under US 2 size for the needle tips, then the small cords don't fit anymore. And it goes to the mini sizes. And I I was like for sure it doesn't fit because um of the conversation with the person at the yarn shop, and it was like a little awkward because I'm like, no, for sure, like it doesn't fit. Um, because I don't just have the Chow I have other sets of needles too that I use. So at some point I'll get it. Um, but as of right now, I could just use other things. Now I do have my sock needles too, and technically, oh, I'd have to see if I have the US 0. Did I show this already? Sorry, I don't even know if I try not to give the pattern. Well, the chart is on the other page, and some of the instructions are here too. I saw at the Dollar Tree they had one size of circular needles, which I thought was cool that they had it. They were the wooden ones. They were US 9, which I thought was like interesting because if anything, like I would say the average would be around a US 6, maybe US 8 at most for like, well, people do knit on chunky yarn, so I shouldn't say like the average of it. I didn't check or anything. But a lot of the yarn tends to be like if you go to stores that have a selection of yarn but not like a whole like multiple aisles of it, a lot of times you're going to see like medium weight. So it was kind of surprising that they had like a US 9, but exciting nonetheless because it's nice that you can get something like that at the Dollar Tree. Um, and then the yarn, I still have it in here. I might switch it out, like the container. But I do have some white yarn here too. I might put these back, but this looks like a Rubicon. This one is a Jameson and Smith. So this one has like gray undertones. I do love Rubicon, and I use um Jameson and Smith. I actually didn't really knit with it when I first got it, but now I have knit a lot of the yarn that I had. So I'm trying to see if I could put certain, like the weights could be around the same, which I think it wouldn't be the biggest hurdle just because I have more weights of different things than others. For the smaller projects, some of them I have this. So this is a Jameson and Smith one, and there is a little bit of blue because I've been using it as the main color for different projects. So these are the same weight, and I feel like I could do, I think it should be fine. This is the Le Petit lamb's wool. I don't know the pronunciation for the French for their name, so I'll say that portion of it. And um, a lot of people tend to know about the brand. So I actually really love this color. And did I use this in my test knit? I think I might have. For Teti's Knit Garden. Um, and I love that sweater. It's like one of my favorite sweaters. It fits super well. Um, I tend to like sweaters that have a heavier yoke at the top. And I really like her sleeve length for them. Um, because sometimes like when you knit sleeves, they might turn out a little shorter than what you're looking for. And sometimes like that's a person's preference, but I feel like with Teti's patterns, I do like the way that they fit for me. So I do have other yarn. I don't think I'm going to use it with the other ones that I've shown, or this one, because they're a heavier weight. This I actually used for another test knit from Jenna Costet, and again another blue and yellow project. And this one is different. This is here. This has some of like scraps in here, but yellow might be one of the main colors, and maybe I'll see if I have other blues to go with this. I do have this. As you can see, blue has been the main color for stuff. I might flip it to make yellow be one of the main colors. Sorry, or yellow to be the main color for the projects. So I don't have so much yellow, but I do enjoy having the yellow, and I'm surprised of how much yellow I actually have because, well, with the skirt, but it's mainly the one of the fabrics that I had a good amount of that I got at Hobby Lobby on sale. I was looking through their other sales and I was seeing for, I was curious about the vinyl. They did have vinyl on sale, and that's like a material that you might find with different bags. And um, it was like a gray, and there seemed to be a good amount of it to do different things with it. But I'll get it at some point, and it's nice to know that I could see maybe what their selection is on the vinyl. So that's the video. Hopefully it doesn't take a while to upload. The last couple times it didn't take long. And after the exam, hopefully I could just get back to crafting more things like the Matenka I've been wanting to do more of. I might like wrap the bottle with the other material and then start piecing certain things together. So I'll see. And thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in another video. Bye.